Welcome back, ChemStars, to your Chapter 8 video, number 3. Let's take a quick second and recap what you've learned so far in this chapter. So in class on demo day, you learned about the signs for the evidence of a chemical reaction. You also learned what symbols to use and how to write them. In our first video, you learned about the law of conservation of mass and how to go about balancing equations using our guess and check and trying to balance our number of atoms on the left and on the right. And then in our second video, we learned about how to classify looking at synthesis, where two reactants become one product, decomposition, where one product or one reactant becomes two products, and now that's going to bring us to video number 3, single replacement. And a single replacement reaction is where two elements are going to trade places in a reaction. So if we visualize it like this, we've got a single element trying to cut into an ionic compound and then kicking out the less attractive element. And we'll talk more about what the attractiveness means, but it's going to go back to our Chapter 5 periodic trends unit, where we talked about how badly an element wants to gain more electrons. Okay, so two elements will trade places. And in those two elements, it'll either be a metal and a metal trading places, or it will be a non-metal and a non-metal. So in that reaction, a metal can kick out a metal and a non-metal can kick out a non-metal. A metal can't trade places with a non-metal in this because they're ionic compounds and they have to have a neutral net charge. So metals will replace metals, which are cations. Maybe make a note here, that could be a cation, so watch out for things like ammonium. And non-metals will replace non-metals, and those are going to be the anions. So just make maybe a little note here, because we got to watch out for things like H+, hydrogen can act like a cation, ammonium, NH4+, can act like a non-metal, so just kind of take that with a grain of salt. Let's look at a couple examples. Let's try and balance these together. So here's an example where we have potassium trying to cut into water and kick out hydrogen. So this one, you're like, well, what's going on? I only see a metal. I only see one type of metal here. But remember, hydrogen is also sometimes acting like a metal. So it's helpful to rewrite water as HOH. And you can see really clearly here, potassium's going to try and kick out hydrogen. And when it does, it becomes a diatomic. So is this balanced? No, because we have this H2 over here. So this H2, to get 2H2, I'm going to put a 2 in front. Now that gives me 2 hydrogens. That also gives me 2 of the OH, the hydroxide. I'm going to put a 2 over here. And then that gives me 2 potassium. So I've got to go over here and put 2 potassium. And now let's put our blanks for 1. So go through and check. 2 potassium, 2 potassium. 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen. And then 2 hydroxide and 2 hydroxide. This is balanced. Take a look at your next one. This is an example where we have a non-metal trying to kick out another non-metal. We'll learn more about those rules in some of the predicting products videos. So here, fluorine's going to try and kick out chlorine. And when that happens, chlorine's going to be a diatomic. So let's see, is this balanced? 2 fluorine, 3 fluorine. Nope. And you learned last chapter that whenever we see that 2 and that 3, a lot of times we're going to go to 6. So let's try and get 6 fluorine on each side. So now we have 6 fluorine. How do I get 6 over here? Put a 2 in front. Now that gives me 2 aluminum. Well, I got to fix the aluminum problem. And now that just gave me 6 chlorine. And what do I need right here? A 3. So on this next one, it's going to be helpful if you put parentheses around nitrate and balance it as a group. I want you to pause the video and then try and balance this one and come back. Good work. If you got 1, 2, 2, 1, you balanced it correctly. So on each side of the equation, I have 1 copper atom. I've got 2 silver atoms, and then I've got 2 of those nitrate polyatomics. So it's all balanced. Let's flip the page. Okay, now we're going to learn about the double replacement reactions. So this reaction is going to happen when we have 2 ionic compounds. And remember that the ionic compound has a positive cation. Remember, cats have pause, and a negative anion. And what's going to happen is everybody's going to switch partners when that reaction takes place. So the 2 cations will swap and the 2 anions will swap. So let's try and look at this picture and apply that to our examples. We've got 3 examples we're going to go through, and then we'll be finished with this video. So for the first example, we've got calcium chloride. Calcium's the cation, chlorine's the anion. So make a little note here, that's the plus, that's the minus. Silver is the cation, and nitrate's the polyatomic anion. And so what's going to happen is the potassium, or the calcium, and the silver are going to try and swap. So calcium's a 2 plus, and then silver's a 1 plus. Calcium will go with nitrate, and then silver will go with chlorine. So I've just drawn some brackets here to show you the new partners we're going to get. And when that happens, think back to how we write our chemical equations. Our products will be AgCl and CaNO3 So is this balanced? Nope. First thing I see is that we've got an NO3 right here. So we need to get 2 nitrates on each side. So let's put a 2 in front. Now that just gave me 2 silver. So I've got to put a 2 right here to get 2 silver. And that gave me 2 chlorine. Well, look at that. That's what I needed. These things have a way of working out. So everything else, I'm just going to fill in with a 1. I'll do one more with you, and then we'll come back and check our work. So on my next example, now I've got sodium as my cation and hydroxide's my anion, my polyatomic anion. We've got iron 2, and we have sulfate, which is also a 2 minus. So the sodium and the iron are going to try and swap places. So the sodium is going to want to go with sulfate, and the hydroxide is going to go with iron. So that's how we get these products. Now let's see, is this balanced? Here we've got 1 sodium, here I've got 2 sodium. So what I got to do? Put a 2 in front. Well, that just gave me 2 hydroxide. Good, that's what I needed. So sodium's good, hydroxide's good. Now I've got 1 iron, I've got 1 iron, I've got 1 sulfate, I've got 1 sulfate. So it seems like everything else is fine. Let's just fill in with some 1s. So now I'm giving you a couple little hints right here. Put your sulfate in parentheses, put your nitrate in parentheses, and remember that hydrogen can act like a metal. So barium was with nitrate, barium's going to want to go with sulfate, and then hydrogen is going to try and go with nitrate. So pause the video, check your balancing, and come back. Great work. Did you get 1, 1, 1, 2? If so, you did a great job. So barium, there's 1 barium on each side, 2 nitrate on the left. I needed a 2 to get 2 nitrate on the right. I put a 1 right here. I had a 2 hydrogen, and that 2 coefficient gives me 2 hydrogen here. I had 1 sulfate and 1 sulfate. So that's going to be the end of video 3. Come back for video 4 to learn about combustion reactions where things blow up. Bye, guys.